Welcome to Gapology Radio Podcast with authors Mark Tinas and Brian Brockhoff. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gapology Radio. This is the podcast where we talk about Gapology, IMBAR, and more. Let's give Mark Tinas a call and see what he's up to.
Hey Brian.
Hey Mark, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Good. Oh, I was kind of scared the other day though.
What happened?
Oh my gosh, I was driving to work, and around the campus where my office is, a guy was walking across the street, seriously, walking like a snail, and I had to stop because he was on his phone. And he didn't even see me. It was crazy. I almost ran him over.
I hear people are getting killed in New York City on the streets.
It's nuts. It's nuts. People are so distracted.
Yeah, well, maybe we should talk about it. Help the world out a little bit.
Oh, yeah? You have a good topic today?
Yeah, let's just go with that one. You know, I'll switch what I had. Let's go with no devices.
Okay, sounds good. No devices. Okay, that's great.
In fact, I've got a story to tell you.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
Yeah. So I got invited to a private club by a business partner a few weeks ago for an evening mixer, 2-hour mixer with a group of bankers. And when you get to the event, there's a big sign, no devices allowed.
Wow.
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. So
really? That's
they're
cool.
like inspecting people as they go into the room. You cannot have your device. It's like an airport scenario.
Like a Prince
People are
concert.
going back to their cars and dropping off their devices, and no devices allowed.
That's cool.
And it was amazing. Let me tell you what happened. So I just stood back and watched for a while, and the conversations were amazing. People were having conversations. I don't know if I'd seen that like that in a long time. It was incredible. The engagement level of the individuals was off the charts. And again, it was because they were conversing. They were engaged. It created engagement. And the first thing that I noticed after the visual impact was the noise level was off the charts.
Wow.
Off the charts. It was loud because people were talking. And it was such a strange feeling.
Yeah, seriously.
And this totally would not have happened had they had their devices.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been low-key, and half the people would have been looking at their screens. And it was a total game changer. And I can tell you, for me, it was just shocking. I learned the names of the bankers. I could tell you their names right now. I know where they worked, what they do. I bet they know who I am and what I do. And it was an amazing evening of engagement, 2 hours without devices, and it was significant. So I just wanted to share that because I think it has implications in a lot of other things that we do. So I'll turn it to you to comment, and then I've got some other things to share.
Oh yeah, I think it's just crazy. I see it so often as I travel, especially. This is where I really see it. So sitting on the shuttle bus, going from the airport to the car rental, it's just amazing. You look around, everyone's head is down, everyone's head is looking at their gadget, at their device. And nobody is talking. Nobody's looking around, looking at the scenery, looking at what's going on. It's just amazing how, technology's really consumed the population.
Yeah, it's consumed the mind share.
Yeah.
And if you looked at a 24-hour day, it may be, equivalent to sleep time now, device time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For some people.
Right.
Some people. All right, so here's some of my recommendations to the group. So I would create no device time frames. I mean, I really don't get on my device on the weekends much. I restrict device usage in the evenings dramatically. I read an article that no device time frames if you'll actually carve them out during your day, that they will lower your stress level.
Oh, wow.
You can literally, I get 50 emails, maybe 100 emails on a day, but I can knock those out, make them productive in 3 different segments. I don't need to be on email all day long or on a device all day long to be effective or productive. Mm-hmm. It's a crunch. No device time frames are good for us. They make us more productive and they lower stress level. It allows us to connect with people. It allows us to develop interaction skills. And I'm really worried about millennials not having interaction skills at the level that, will be required to be successful. And I truly believe, again, that it increases productivity and lowers stress. So I challenge everybody listening to this podcast to create no device timeframes for yourself, for your team, for your children if you have them, and stick to it, because I believe it leads to something better, and it leads to the opposite of what is thought, higher productivity. I believe it's a much more productive way to lead. Please comment on that, Brian, and then I've got a couple of other things for the group on this.
Yeah, I think it's a way that you can really show people that you care about them. If you put your phone away, stick it in your pocket when you're having those dinners and those, one-on-one times with your family and that type of thing, it really shows that, you're focusing your time, your energy, your attention on them. That they really truly matter, and that the emails, the texts, all those beeps and buzzes that happen on your phone can come later.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point. I think that in today's world, if you do that, if you on purpose put away the device, you show that you are caring, and it will be viewed as caring. It'll be viewed as significant by the other person or the group of people,
right?
Because it's so common to interrupt conversation for a text, interrupt for an email, etc.
Yeah,
I don't allow my emails to make a tone. I do allow my text to make a tone, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to respond if I'm in the middle of a conversation, with you, for example. Mm-hmm. So. That was a good point. So we did a podcast a few weeks back called The Segmenting Discipline. And I would challenge everybody to listen to that. And it was really about segmenting your day into 15-minute segments and managing time accordingly. And during that 15-minute segment, to focus on a singular event, a singular activity. And it is a method of getting a lot more accomplished. And it's my belief that the device thing is lowering productivity now, because it's taken to such an extreme. And if you literally manage your device time into segments during the day, you can be much more productive. That doesn't mean skipping an urgent phone call that happens to come in, but it means that the response to an email done during a given segment of the day can be equally or more productive for you. Thoughts on that? And I got one other thing I want to share, Brian.
Yeah, I think we create our own anxiety. I think a lot of times nowadays, we always think something's urgent that's coming in, so we have to respond to it right away. And by segmenting, by breaking up and dedicating time to those devices, then allows you the freedom to not feel anxious about those different buzzes and beeps that come in, because you can put those aside and know that, in a half hour or whatever, I'm going to deal with those. But right now, I'm going to focus on the things that are truly important in front of me.
Yeah, you said it. That was brilliant. We create our own anxiety.
Yeah.
So true. So true. So I want to share a story. So last week, I was involved with and leading a meeting, and we not allow devices into the meeting. We had a room where the devices had to be placed.
Awesome.
And we took a break every 2 hours. And every 2 hours, everyone could go grab their device and catch up for 15 minutes on whatever was urgent, that was going on out there. But we didn't allow devices. And I would tell you that what was most interesting to me was that the engagement level of the group in the meeting was high. But what was most interesting was that I viewed the engagement level of the group to be rather equivalent. So everyone played, everyone was part of the meeting, everyone was involved. There weren't segments of the meeting that were, thinking about something else or doing their own thing. Everybody, was there. They were present. And I will now conduct all meetings in the future with no devices. Unless there's some specific reason for a device to be there, we're going to meet. And I'm not a big fan of meeting all the time. I think when you meet, it has to be on purpose. And when we meet, it is about meeting. And it is about being present. And it is about being engaged and getting things done. And therefore, devices are likely not part of that meeting. They are a distraction. And that's what I've learned, and that's how I will conduct meetings going forward. So, Brian, I turn to you to close it out.
Yeah, I think with meetings, if you look at it through a gapology lens, the purpose is really to close the gaps. So close the knowledge gap, close the importance gap, and close an action gap. Otherwise, a meeting can just be an email. So if you're in a room together, if you're dedicating and segmenting your time to be in this meeting, there needs to be some sort of action involved. And devices can really be a roadblock to that action. It can block knowledge, retention. People might not understand what the message of the meeting is. They might not feel the importance of it. And they certainly aren't going to create action if the device is distracting them from understanding those different pieces.
So true. When did you get so smart, Brian?
Yeah, the day I met you.
No, I don't think so. I think I'll start calling you
Yeah, right.
for these podcasts. Well done.
Oh, my
well
gosh.
Done. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a great week, Mark.
You too,
Yeah,
Brian.
talk to you later. Bye. All right, that'll do it for another week. For more information on Gapology, IMBAR, and more, head on over to our website, gapology.org. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.